We are live. We're late, but we are live. It's Tuesday, January the 18th, 2022. Welcome to NasCanucks, your Canadian auto racing podcast with a spin. Dang it, nope, mix that. Right words, wrong order.
Yeah.
Kind of blame timing and scoring. I'm Ben. This is Doug. We got tons of news, rumors, innuendos.
And like always, we always say, you hear it here first.
Yep.
All the time. Whatever's going on, we tell you it here, right now. And actually, for the first time, it was you. You, right?
Well, it's not the first time I've called something.
Yeah.
It's the first time in 2022.
Yeah.
Because I called it in 2021. What's that?
Exactly.
Tony Stewart Racing's new and improved NHRA team is officially with Dodge. Shocker. No, not even a bit.
No. So, which really means there's a chance. Well, I am like...
Yeah, so then, all the
Sure,
rumors and or innuendos is now that, Dodge is going to come into NASCAR via Stewart Haas Racing. Well, we'll see.
You know what?
Hopefully. Sup, Charles?
Yeah.
Guitar Man 45.
Then he will be the next. Well, he will join Casey Kane, Kurt Busch, as the only with all four manufacturers: Dodge, Toyota, and Ford, and the Chevy.
Kenny Schrader did it.
In the Cup Series.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he ran a Toyota in the Truck Series. I don't think he ran a Toyota in the Cup Series.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Jeremy Smith? So, it's like the good old days, Doug. So much off-season testing.
Yes. Yep.
We've had the Charlotte Oval. We've had the Charlotte Roval. We've had Atlanta. I think we've already had Daytona, or it's...
I think so.
Okay, and I just read that 1 week from today, Phoenix, they're doing a test.
Yes, yeah.
Jeremy, I'm going to disagree with you.
I'm thinking that too.
From an engineering standpoint, they're far superior handling, and they got about the same horsepower as last year, so...
Actually, yeah, if you listen to Junior's comments after Daytona, he doesn't want to get back into one in a race, but he loved it handled so much better.
Oh, yeah. They brake better. They turn better. I don't know if they accelerate better, but I would imagine they do, considering the rear suspension in a quote-unquote current or now obsolete Cup car is based off of a 1963 Ford trailing arm setup. So, yeah. As opposed to now independent rear suspension. I dig it. Center lug, that's fine. You know, GT cars and Indy cars have been doing it for decades. What's up, Dave Ennis? Atlanta fully repaved, been tested on, looks awesome. Absolutely looks awesome. They are running they call it the lesser horsepower package restricted plate. So
you're still not going to notice it.
No, well, not really, because it's right. It seems to be right at that edge. You can, in theory, run flat out around the track, but you can't. If you do one corner too well and carry a little too much speed through and don't scrub off the speed, then you're going to need to just breathe it a bit in the other end. Which, whatever, they were running the low horsepower at half a dozen tracks last year. What's that? You can't install in a track with new pavement and banking as character. That track had so much character, not now. Every track loses character every time it gets repaved. But eventually you got to repave. Like when chunks of asphalt are coming up during the race, like chunk, you can't have potholes. Although, because my favorite driver would be the guy who hits the pothole.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So
looking great going into the corner, and he comes out of the corner with only 3 wheels.
So yeah, and yeah.
So other than that,
Yeah.
I think we did in fact announce it. Well, or we were teasing last episode. I can't remember. There is in fact a full field for Daytona.
Okay, yeah. I know you said you weren't sure.
Yeah, it looks like it now. It looks like it now, including the Jacques Villeneuve. I'm driving for this guy, but he isn't preparing the cars. We're outsourcing the preparation. Although those guys are showing up at the Phoenix test, but they don't know if Jacques going to race the car or drive the car at Phoenix, or the owner is going to drive the car at Phoenix.
Well, the owner's kid.
Well, whatever, same thing. Yeah.
But
So,
how about finally a ton of news the last couple weeks, last couple days.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, if Logano hits the pothole, we have no problem with that. Would I get it? Yeah, don't worry about it, Joey. Just bring it in.
Yeah.
Park it. Yes, a lot of news. Oh, by the way, did you see the latest photo? Because they were installing the safer barrier at the LA Coliseum. Doug, word of advice. If you're going to be attending the race, do not buy a seat in the first, 50 rows.
Well, that's kind of my rule of thumb most tracks.
Well, all right. 60 rows because you're just going to look at the back of the head of the guy in front of you.
Yeah.
Or you're looking at the wall. You'll hear them go by. I don't know. You'll have to be like the Yahoos that got a stand for the first 20 laps of everything. And since it's a little short track, it's going to be nothing but first little 20 laps of everything.
Yeah.
But all right, whatever. They're going to do what they're going to do. Thank God it's not a points race because it's a shit show.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So there wasn't a lot of truck news come out at all. I did see one thing for the Xfinity Series.
Yes. That Bubba Wallace is going to be running some Xfinity races.
Sorry, what was that?
Bubba Wallace is going to be running some Xfinity races.
Yes, and now, I now forget her name, but that adult film star star from Australia wants to run some races.
By thing, third gender.
Well, no, she's like I don't know. I don't know. I just forget what she does, but she's some sort of adult.
Well, we weren't going to touch on it, Jeremy, but I'll touch on it. The way that works is there is no list of appropriate sponsors. Every sponsorship is at the discretion of NasCar. They're a private company. Well, they're family-owned private company, and every sponsor is at their discretion.
And as Ben and I did talk, as what is this now, the third week of this year? So the story is now changed again. It went from Brandon Brown, I want to really go and I want to distance myself from
I don't want to have anything to do with that.
I don't want anything to do with LGB, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Then he shows up at a couple of events.
Then the next week, hey, look, I've got my primary sponsor, LGB Coin. Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
And
you can't fight it, you might as well join it. And then because it was over the holidays, they had submitted the paint scheme. The paint scheme was approved. The sponsorship was not. You don't get sponsor approval through the paint department. That's not how it works.
So now, as this soap opera is gone,
so they're out as a NasCar sponsor.
Well, it's now another week gone by, and it's now I want to distance myself from everything with the LGB, but they are not going to be a race team sponsor, so they're not going to be on the car, not going to be on my fire suit, but they are now a personal sponsor.
Which is more, to me, like, apples and oranges because it's a family-owned team, but all right. If you're driving for Hendrick Motorsports and they decide that they're going to have Burger King as the sponsor and you hate Burger King, well, what are you going to do, right? But guess what? You're not going to have them as your own personal sponsor if you don't like them.
What? Who sponsor?
Yeah. Anywho's. So
shout out to David Ruderman there.
There's what I'm saying publicly and what I'm willing to do privately.
Yes. I don't know. Like, next week it'll probably change again.
Who knows? Yeah.
So I'll touch on another Xfinity thing before I touch on another sponsor that hell must have froze over again.
Yep.
A driver you got a chance to go a little head on with.
Oh.
Signed with Sam Hunt Racing in the Xfinity Series.
Okay. Jeffrey Earnhardt?
Yeah, it'd be Jeffrey Earnhardt.
I'm like, how many physical altercations have I had with Xfinity drivers? Well, there's a few. What's up, Mark?
So there's that. Oh, sure.
Oh, wait. Terry's asleep, apparently. He's not
Terry's
here.
Asleep. Yeah.
All right. I guess I can moderate. Wow, we actually got our first.
Bye.
Let's be done here.
Yeah. So then, which leads to some Cup Series stuff is sponsors that you would never see. So I'm not sure if you've seen this.
Apparently, I still have last night's chat window open too. So there we go.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
If I was to say the Cup Series, one of the teams has a new sponsor called Day Chaser Cocktails. Who would you think it was?
Well, now that Clint Boyer's out of the series, I would have to go with like Aspire Motorsports type thing.
They will be a sponsor with the 48 Team Hendrick car.
Well, there we are.
So, looks like hell has frozen over, and they have a...
Yes, Jeremy, there was that car. That was actually not from the official campaign. That was a pack that sponsored the vehicle.
Yep.
Which is
why Corey LaJoie is no longer driving for that team, because he kind of likened it to the Torkel's Chicken Pit car from the movie Stroke a Race.
Yeah.
If memory serves correct, when I did listen to him at an interview. So then sticking with the Day Chaser Cocktails and the Hendrick Motorsports team is Sugarland's Moonshine. I know that because they have
a new vodka out.
Yes.
Dale Jr. vodka or Dale and Amy vodka. I don't know that it's all over there.
It's High Rock vodka. Yeah,
which is funny because I don't know Dale other than ever doing vodka in shot form or straight from the bottle. Hearing the stories that I've heard, from his younger days, I'm sure Martin Truex could elaborate on that, and so could Jimmy Johnson on occasion.
Probably could.
I was going to say also, I saw some unofficial news as to who's eligible and who isn't eligible for Rookie of the Year. Justin Haley will not be eligible for Rookie of the Year this year.
Because how many races did he run? He's run
31 previous Cup races over the years. It used to be you could not run more than 5 races in a previous season. You could run... Well, Mike Skinner ran like 30, 40 Cup races before he ran for Rookie of the Year, but he never ran more than 3 races in a given year. So you didn't break that 5-a-year rule. That rule went away almost 10 years ago with Danica Patrick. She ran 10 races a previous season and was still eligible for Rookie of the Year, where she battled it out with Austin Dillon.
Yes.
What a enthralling battle it was.
Mm-hmm.
Who won? Don't know. Do you care? Not even a bit. But there is a good crop of rookies, is what I'm saying. Unconfirmed, but definitely eligible, if they choose to run for it, which they would because they're running full time. You got Austin Cindric, Harrison Burton. I want to say Daniel Hemrick. For some reason, no,
he's gone to the they call it.
Now I gotta look it up. He's
got to call it. So one guy you will not see in the Cup Series next year.
Who?
As of right now, is Ryan Newman does not have a ride, and he does not have anything planned. For the 2022 season. So
I thought I heard he had a race planned of some kind, but I guess that went away.
That was probably the Chili Bowl this past weekend.
Was the Chili Bowl.
And congrats to Tanner Thorson on winning the Chili Bowl.
Yep. And congrats to Chase Elliott to really know how to wreck a dirt car in fine fashion.
Yeah.
Rick Hendrick really does not like the fact that Kyle Larson kicked that door wide open at Hendrick Motorsports.
Oh, yeah.
He's not enjoying it.
Yeah. And also, shout out to someone, if you're going to tell people to shut up and do your research on stuff.
Yeah.
The guy, like I did show Ben, guy on Twitter, talked to how great of a dirt racer Chase Elliott is because his dad... Yes, because Chase Elliott's dad, Bill Elliott, was great in his late in his career. He'd actually won the Snowball Derby and then was disqualified. But yeah, if you're going to tell someone to do the research and then talk about how he's won that race before, make sure it's the right race and not that's the Chili Bowl. He won the Snowball Derby.
Surface. Because one's asphalt, one's dirt.
One's on asphalt, one's on dirt. Yeah, they're a little different.
Similar times of the year. Granted, you got the month right, but that's about it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not quite seeing it. Should we mention it's Hall of Fame week? Because it's Media Week. Oh, yeah. Yep. Media Week in Charlotte, and they got a foot of snow. Not a lot of media going on.
Mm-hmm. And while you're there, another returning driver, because we know we love him and the team. Returning,
I don't know who the other guy is. Some young guy.
Returning to the Rick Ware Racing.
Rick Ware
car is Cody Ware coming back.
Cody Ware driving for Rick Ware, as opposed to the other Ware, right? There's the other kid that one looks normal and one does not.
No.
One's a freak. I can't get sponsors. It might be the face tattoos, kid. I'm just saying,
Trying to think here. Other news. The halftime show for the Busch Clash was announced.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
So the pre-show is Pitbull.
It's in L.A. Was it the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
No. Halftime.
Oh, right. I know this.
Halftime show. Because they're very close to South Central, Ice Cube will be performing at the halftime show of the Busch Clash.
Is there a song he can perform that can be televised? Because he's not exactly known for his G-rated rap. Just saying. Yeah. Are they going to reference his previous group effort that he was in prior to going solo? I don't know.
NASCAR with attitude?
NASCAR with attitude. Yeah. Somebody is going to make that. Oh, somebody will. Oh, man. Somebody in a suit.
But when they do, remember, you heard it here first.
Yep.
That's all we ask is you remember you heard it here first.
Yeah, because when you mentioned that to me, I could not find any reference to that. Because I was looking for the trolls, because I figured NASCAR diehard fans are going to lose it over it.
And the motorsport games, apparently they're going to try and they're involved with a team again to try and help because their NASCAR Ignition was such a flop. They want to get a team to help them figure out their game. So they have now got Live Fast Motorsports.
Ow. Was that you with the feedback?
I don't know. I don't think it was. I didn't hear it.
Wow, yeah. I was like, wow. Ow.
Yeah. So
tinnitus is just going right off now.
So they've partnered up with Live Fast Motorsports because
Live
nothing's at
fast,
the top.
live last.
Exactly, yes. So
Yeah, all right, sure. Why not? Hey, if it means more cars, let's do it. Let me think. So what is there anything going? There's a few little sponsors announced here and there.
yeah, there's nothing real whole lot. I know that we did talk off here. I think we talked about it yesterday. Was because I'd heard it yesterday morning. I think it was Monday morning, one of the mornings.
Mhm.
NASCAR or racing cliches.
Okay. I'd like to thank
It was like your top four that you'd like to get. They were kind of the morning guys were talking with do they want to get rid of them or just ones that they're just plain tired or just heard too much of.
I don't know. All right. Well, what? All right. Like, it's polite to thank the guys back at the shop. Considering the guys at the track didn't work on the car at all, especially nowadays. You know.
Well, mine are Robbins Racing.
It's not.
No. Thank you to the
that
movie.
Wasn't a thing until Days of Thunder came out.
Well, exactly. Yes, it was. Thank you to the movie, and then
yeah.
Yeah.
Robin's not racing. Robin's rubbing.
And one that will take you back to
all right
2011 in Charlotte. He's in it to win it.
Aren't they all?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Well, they're not all. Some of them are in it to finish 15th, but their car is only good enough for 20th. So sure. Yeah.
There's just it was funny because it was just so much that it's just like, which most of just went gone.
Apparently, yeah. I was waiting for more here. Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah.
I'd have to hear them. That's for sure.
Yeah. But it's just the thing is that there's so many that you forget about them until you hear them and you're like, oh shit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
one of the most overused phrases I've ever heard is "over to you, Mikey." I don't want to hear that anymore.
unless it was a right hook going over to Mikey, then yes.
Yeah. Oh, do we know who Clint Boyer gets to pick on in the booth this year?
I haven't heard yet.
I wonder if it is still Jeff for another year. Maybe like it was one of those things.
Because he's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone.
I noticed he's already he already grew the beard and he's wearing the fleece vest like Hendrick. So it's only a matter of time before he puts on a paunch.
Maybe finally something that's been kept secret in NASCAR.
Yeah, like that's a well kept secret. Who's going to be in the booth?
Mm-hmm. But then something else that we did touch on this morning. Could be. But yeah, something we kind of touched on.
You can't do that to Mike Joy. You can't be stuck in a booth with Clint for 6 hours at a time. I could be, but we'd be drunk, so then we would be on the air after that.
But one other interesting thing is, they were kind of talking about that. They look back and 7 years ago at a race at Watkins Glen, they kind of I don't know why they took that one, but just took that one.
Sure.
7 years ago,
2015.
Yes. The average age of the starting lineup was 41.
Wow.
For the drivers.
I think that's a skewed race. That seems a little old.
No, well, that was the average age.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Sure.
So, do you have any idea what the average age of the confirmed drivers right now would be for this season in the Cup Series?
28.
A little higher.
All right. 30.
It's like 30.2. There's of the drivers, there's
I was like,
18.
not a lot of guys make it into their 40s anymore. That's why I was shocked that to be an average of 40, like there's got to be a few 45-year-olds in there to hold that stat up.
Yeah. So there's 18 drivers that are between the age of 25 and 34 this year.
Then again, I'm just thinking, 5 years ago, okay, or 7 years ago, you said, right? 7 years ago, I would have been 40. And, like Dale Jr. is around my age, Kenseth's our age, Jimmy Johnson's our age.
Yep.
Ryan Newman.
You got
because I'm just thinking like a bunch of like Dinger.
You got Edwards.
Edwards, all about that age that are all out. And Biffle would have been still in the series, and he's a few years older.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess, Harvick.
Yep.
Smoke. Yeah. I was like, was Mark Martin still running? Because that really skews the demographic.
Yeah.
Was Morgan Shepherd in the field? Ha!
But then
that rips her up like 3 years on average.
That's another whole, and then this topic kind of led into a whole other thing, and
well, that ties into because like you think about previous generation, like in 80s into the 90s, you didn't get a top ride till you were in your 40s.
Yep.
You didn't make it to the cup level till you're in your 30s, basically, unless you either had money or you're a next gen driver and you still kind of suffered. You're a handful of young guys, but you would, you'd spend 10 years driving for Junie Dunleavy before Hendrick would call you.
Mm-hmm.
Type thing.
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing that they kind of then morphed into was because we got I think there's like 6 or 7 now that are above 35 and above.
Right. Oh yeah, because it's very much like stick and ball sports in that respect.
Which I'm Truex is in that category, so and it's like we've had so much changeover. Like the Jimmy Johnson's gone, Smoke's gone.
I was going to say there's 5 veterans maybe left.
Yeah,
and veterans would be anybody over the age of 35, which would be Keselowski, Harvick, Keselowski and Harvick.
Yeah, Truex.
And even Truex, he was like a couple of years. Well, even and Keselowski, they're a couple of years behind, Harvick and Kurt Busch. But that's pretty much it. And part of it is, because people we heard it back in the 90s, they were skewing more stick and ball sports, and people were getting out around age 40, we'll say. But the big thing is, if I can pay the kid $4 million a year less. Pay him $1 million instead of the other guy $5 base salary. Well, that just covered a quarter of our season to run okay.
So the neck, and then anyone in the chat can answer this as well too, is that it then morphs into when your driver leaves, because there's going to be a lot of drivers that have been with people have been with a long time. How do you transfer into liking another driver, finding your new driver? Because I know for me, I haven't had to do that yet. You have had to do that.
I've been doing it for decades.
Yeah,
because I was like the old guys. I started as a Bobby Allison fan.
Well, for me, when I was younger, right, I was kind of just like the fan of everything.
Yep.
Looking, my central stuff was more watching Flamborough Speedway and what was going on there, but didn't really have the big. You heard the names, right?
Yeah.
You heard the Waltrip's, the Petties out there.
Well, and I was always pulling for the field fillers and and then there was a handful of guys that I liked, and that was based on who Ken Squire said to keep an eye on at the 500.
And for me, like my first race back in 2006, going there was like, you pick someone who you might like with the sponsor or the number, and for me it was the sponsor, the number kind of clashed. Mm-hmm. to be Truex, and I've kind of then got to know him, stayed long because of getting to know him, kind of stayed with him along. I added Carl Edwards, lost Carl Edwards, but I've still had the Truex right there. Right? And Kyle Busch here.
I went down to a few drivers for like 3 years at a time, because I was pulling for Schrader, and then Schrader kind of was part-time, and I was kind of rudderless, and we found Clint just by chance, and I didn't mind Clint. I didn't like him when he was younger because he did a bump and run or two back in the Busch series, and I didn't care for that. But even then, and then he left, and then it's like I don't know. I mean, I'm picky because I love Ryan Blaney, hate Penske. So like Kyle Larson, hate Hendrick. I haven't liked a Hendrick car since Schrader and Waltrip ran for him.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. And then at that time, you didn't really know about the car owners, and you didn't know about the chicanery and the cheating and stuff because we were kids.
Yep.
So I witnessed Jeff Gordon cheat. He cheated.
Yeah.
You don't pull out a quarter lap on a green white checkered by yourself when you get 2 tires and the rest of the field gets 4 at Michigan. And that was right around that whole controversy of tire soaking at the time.
I was going to say, did the tires take a bath?
Yeah, well, and the sponsor was DuPont, and they know how to make chemicals. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's...
there's only a few older guys, voices, and that's the other thing. Those guys carry a lot of weight as far as their voice in the pits, their voice with NASCAR. Who has NASCAR's ear? Because the last person was Tony Stewart that we know of.
I'm going to say it's going to be Harvick and it's going to be Keselowski. Probably.
Yeah. It's not Kurt Busch.
No.
He burnt that bridge too.
Well, and I think if you look at the older guys, because I'm going to say Kyle's in with that as well too, right?
Yeah.
I don't think NASCAR's going to really listen to him. Truex, I like the guy, but
nobody's listening.
He's not vocal enough to go to NASCAR.
You know what? He has a bit of a voice because he's got a lot of stake as far as fielding the trucks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
So I think he has a little more pull. You know who we forgot to throw in there? Denny Hamlin.
Yes.
Denny Hamlin's really, I bet you he's got the ear of NASCAR, actually.
And you know what? I've got to look down on my phone and pull it up because I did see a really funny tweet come out here in the last day that Denny had a great comeback for. I got to pull it up because it was going over talking about the last car.
Mm-hmm.
That now that the Gen 6 is over because we're into the Gen 7 now.
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin's record in the Gen 6 car.
I'd like to know where they get these generations from too, because it used to be a different car every year.
Yeah.
Well, so shouldn't it be like Gen 60-ish? Because we run the same car for a few years.
Denny had the same record in this new car because that last car actually did last a long time.
Mm-hmm.
From 2013 to 2021. So okay. Denny's stats at the Daytona 500 with that Gen 6 car,
which is really just a COT without the wing,
kind of, yeah.
And a different nose.
Yeah. It was 14th with 33 laps led. Second was 16 laps led. Fourth, 4 laps led. Winning in 2016, led 95. In 2017, he was 17th. He crashed out. 2018, third, 22 laps led. 2019, first, 30 laps led. 20, first, 79 laps led. And last year finished fifth, and he led 98 laps. So he's had some success in that car, and now will that success come over into the new car? And to his Denny, being the kind of, I'm going to say the new Denny, I don't know. His reply to that tweet was, "I will forever miss you."
Yep.
Which, you know what?
I'm sure that car will end up in a museum somewhere.
Oh, yeah, but it seems like a lot of, I've seen a bunch of drivers kind of start replying to people like that with a little more, I don't know, fun and just kind of fan-friendly.
Yeah. Well, you got to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do we have anything else?
I think it's for a time that had some more news, but not a whole bunch more. We got a month. We got a month to go.
Got a month.
Got a month.
Less until the Clash, right?
Yes.
Isn't the Clash should be before Daytona?
Well, it goes Clash, Super Bowl, Daytona. And the Daytona is February 20th.
Okay.
Which would mean that the Clash is a couple weeks.
Yeah, February 4th, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Finally be able to talk about some racing.
It was a shit show, Doug. There you go. There's the headline.
Yeah.
Let's take a bunch of brand new cars and put them on a quarter-mile track. That's smart. It's not smart.
No.
That's what you do with the old cars. They should have done this as the blowout of the Gen 6 cars.
Yeah.
Because then it would have been Demolition Derby.
Well, for sure.
Do you have a favorite at Daytona to wrap things up? An early favorite at Daytona?
You just made me think of another cliche.
Yep. Oh, excuse me.
Wasn't that? Wasn't that?
That's dinner making an encore performance. That's what that is.
What? How's it go? Either the check or the steering wheel.
Yeah, bring me the checkered flag of the steering wheel.
Yeah. Actually, Jeremy has Truex done any tests yet. He did a bunch of the Charlotte tests. I know he did the first couple with Kurt Busch.
Yeah, I didn't see him at Atlanta. I don't think.
No. Because a lot of the first ones were each team could only have one driver.
Yeah, each manufacturer could only have one driver.
Yes, and then the Charlotte ones went to one team member. Looked like the last Daytona one, they were doing a bunch of little mini races with to try and get a little, see how the pack was going to come out. But I think what I heard about that was there was a bunch of tandem stuff going on.
Yeah, well, imagine that. My early pick for Daytona, just throwing it out there, Brad Keselowski.
Yeah.
Ford always brings power. If Michael McDowell can win the race with a Roush motor, Brad Keselowski sure as hell can. Oh, he tweeted. Should I show you today's tweet? He's in his Superman pose, Doug. He's ready for Daytona. He's counting down the days.
Because it's 30.
Defending champ,
30. It's because it's 30. I've seen that too, and I was like,
going for back to back.
I wanted to reply. It's 34 days till you crash out and finish last. The guy wins one of 2,000 races, and he's like a freaking champion. No, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you get to wear that badge of honor if you win that race, Yeah. Get walking around Daytona 500 champion, Doug, just for you, I'll still high five.
I was thinking, I can't wait for the high five.
Because then you get to say, yeah.
Do you know what I'm going to say? You missed his forehead and you got his hand. Is what I'm going to say.
Yeah. On that note, that's Doug. I'm Ben. This has been NasCanucks. Hope you enjoyed it. Who's your favorite pick, or who's your pick for Daytona?
You know what? I'll go with the 18.
Ooh. Okay. There we go. 18?
Because coming out of COVID, I'm fearless.
I was going to say, the 18 or the 2. Nope. 18 or the 6.
Exactly, yes.
So there you go. Cheers, folks.
See you, Marcus.